Hello everyone, welcome to another weekly live stream. I'm back in town. I took a week off when I was in Maui. That was so relaxing, it was so fun, but now I'm back at home, ready to get into all the crafting again. Before we get into tonight's card, I did want to remind you all that we have a new class at onlinecardclasses.com. It is called Celebrate, and there's a link down below in the video description if you want to click over there and sign up for class, maybe even pick up the class kit at either concordandnights.com or simonsastamp.com. It's going to be a great class. It's shaping up to be one of my favorites, I think. I'm never going to have enough birthday cards, so this class is going to be great. So once again, the link's down below the video description. And speaking of, I'm going to be giving away some spots in that class during Wednesday's live mail call. So if you participated in mail call and you're waiting for your card to be shown, or you just want to see if you might win a spot in the Celebrate class, come watch the live mail call. It's going to be, let's see, I'm going to live stream it at 2 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday. So I hope you'll come back and join me. So let's get into tonight's card. I'm going to flip over to the overhead. All right, so I'm going to be using a couple of die sets that came out in my April release, the Loved and Happy dies and the Spring Bloom Inlay dies. And this is actually somewhat inspired by a card that I already shared for that release. It's this card right here. I just really loved the metallic flowers covering this entire 5x7 card. So I thought I would maybe do an ink blended background and then die cut a bunch of the flower, arrange it to make a really cool background, and then we would just put a greeting on top. And I'm thinking I might do like a champagne or platinum instead of like bright gold. So I've actually picked out some colors already too. I thought they'd be really pretty. So these are the colors I'm going to be using. So I've been making cards for my upcoming May release, and there's one card that has these two colors blended together, and it is Chef's Kiss. I love it. And so I want, you know what, let's add in Sunflower. They're kind of all that kind of muted, a little bit of that muted shade. I think they would blend really beautiful together. So we're going to try that tonight. I'm going to put the dies aside. We're not going to do any die cutting for a little bit. We're going to go straight into actually ink blending the card. Okay, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to start with Sunflower. I'm going to start with yellow because I can tend to like get carried away and then the yellow doesn't have enough space. You know, like this yellow gets overtaken. So I'm going to start with Sunflower. Really load up my brush here. Ooh, that's an inky juice pad. Inky juice pad. That's a juicy ink pad. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm channeling Yoda from May the 4th. From yesterday. Can that be my excuse? I'm just trying to talk like Yoda. Talk like Yoda, I do. I've got the yellow. It's taken up like nearly half of the card. I want it to transition over to Brickyard, so I'm going to go ahead and get that going. But Brickyard has to come in like right down the center, so this should be interesting. So I'm just going to bring it. You know, Brickyard is one of those colors that I was like, do I need that? Do I need another red? I needed another red. I did. And it has this kind of soft warmth to it that's really pretty. I think of all of the new 2025 colors from Concord and Ninth, Plumberry, which I'm about to use next, is my favorite. It's the color I didn't know I needed. It's just a delightful color. You're going to see it in a minute and you're going to completely understand. It's kind of along the same vibes as Seedless Preserves in the Distress line. And that is also one of my most favorite ink colors, is Seedless Preserves. If I'm going to go for a Distress color combo, I would say 50% of the time it's going to have some Seedless Preserves in it. I just love that like red-violet shade. It looks so great. All right. And Sunflower, I think, is a really underrated yellow. It's a nice yellow. Okay, let's move on to Plumberry. And just because I'm paranoid about colors mixing and I'm right-handed, why not? I'm going to switch this. All right, on to Plumberry. Oh, I love this color. I love this color too much for my own good. Hold on. I feel like, I mean, that's not super inky. I don't think it's going to get all over my hand, but I'm paranoid. So I'm going to get some Post-it tape and just do what I do when I normally do my oxide blending. Just keeps it from getting fingerprints. Okay, are you ready for this? Oh, it's such a pretty color. And Plumberry blends it into Brickyard. Stop it. Nope. Well, Leanne's saying Plumberry displays Poppy as your favorite. Well, Poppy's not my favorite color. I just think it's an essential color that I cannot, like, okay, I have to back up. At C9 Winter Retreat, it's their virtual event that they had in February. They played this game that was like, it was like a March Madness bracket, but they were narrowing down all of the C9 colors. Not all of them. They just like randomly picked some to start the bracket. And a lot weren't even on the bracket to begin with. But like as a group of the teachers for the event, we had to narrow it down and like eliminate colors. In fact, after the event, I think Greg and Jennifer did it live on YouTube and they did different colors. But I don't know how, but Poppy was eliminated in the very first round. And I was like, excuse me, like we just had Christmas and Valentine's Day and you're eliminating the bright red? Who are we? Like as a crafter, don't you need a bright red? Even if it's just to put like a little heart on something, a little heart, little red heart. Seriously. Brickyard, Poppy, Pimento is a good blend. Really? Okay, I could see that. I could see that. Because, you know, like Brickyard's got a little bit of that oranginess to it. I could really see that. Okay, but stop it. Like this blend, I cannot. I'm afraid it's going to overtake the yellow if I add any more Brickyard. So I'm only going to do Sunflower because I really want to get this blended in more. I might have to do Brickyard, but I'd really like to not. I'd like to preserve any of it that I can. Whoa, I just came in with a really juicy brush. Let's even that out. The good thing about C9 inks is that they will dry back a little bit and soften and blend out. So it's not the end of the world that I've got this big like stamp right there. And now we're going to do a bunch of ink blending. And hopefully by the time I've done, not ink blending, we're going to do a bunch of die cutting. And hopefully by the time I've done the die cutting, this ink blending will be mostly dry and you'll see how it softens out. So remember what this looks like. In fact, I'm tempted to take a screenshot and then I can put it on camera and we can compare. Okay, I'm just taking a little screenshot so we know what it looks like. And then we'll come back and we'll see how it's changed. I think the regular gold might be a little too intense. Do you see how there's just a little difference in those? I'll pull out a little scrap of each and we can compare. So that's the gold. That's the champagne. Here's the ink blend. So there's the champagne. Or we have the gold. It's pretty subtle difference. Let me pick this up. I think I like the champagne. There's a little softness to it. I'm going to go with the champagne. I'm looking at the cardstock to see if the ink blend is drying back nicely. It looks pretty good. I don't think it's completely dried back yet, though. Sometimes that helps, too. Just drop your die from like 12 inches above your work surface. Other people like to like tap the die against the edge of their table or their, counter or whatever you're working on, and that knocks out all of the little bits inside the die as well. It's going to be right there. I'm going to grab a little bit of glue and tweezers wherever they walked off to. Here they are. And because I don't know where it's exactly going to run off the edge of the card, I'm just going to do really rough little lines of glue. Looks like it's about right there. I'll put my paperweight right there. This leaf is like right about like that. It's like nestled in. So I'm just getting those in the right spot. And then I'll just use my paperweight to press that down again. Okay, so these other ones that are like hanging off the edge, I'm actually going to glue them on and then trim it off, because then I can use whatever's left and move it to a different part of the card. There. It's a little different than the original card I'm looking at, but close enough. All right. This is the Spring Bloom Inlay dies, by the way. If you go to the visual supplies link at the top of the video description, it will be right there. You know what? I need a little bit on this leaf as well. Just put glue on most of it just in case. Okay. All right, put that paperweight right there. I'm just let that dry for a minute, and then we're going to cut off all these extra pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to cut away everything that's past the edge of the card. I doubt I'm going to need this little stem, but you never know. Most of the stem outside of the flower is on this one, so we'll have some good leaves for the edges. It's hard to believe I got 5 full flowers on here. It's just these little extras hanging out. It's kind of cute having those empty spots, isn't it? Do I want to fill them in? I think I do. Okay. Oh, I've got a lot of glue hanging out. Not a problem. Usually just dabbing with your finger will pick that up. I think that pretty much fills it. There we go. And then I have my die cut green. I'm thinking maybe if I just do it in white, I think that would be enough to make it stand out. Like stack a bunch of white, like maybe do it on white foam. Ooh, white glitter foam. Do I have a glitter foam that would match this? I'm gonna go check. I have quite a few glitter foams or even glitter cardstock that might look really, really pretty with these colors. Okay, there's always white glitter foam, but what do we think about that? I think that could be kind of pretty. There's also, this is from Spellbinders. They're peony pinks. There's also one that's got a little more pink to it. So there's both of those. Altenew has some really fun glitter papers too. Look at that. Let's look at these glitters. Ah, stop it. That matches Plumberry. That's the rhodolite down here. All right, let's cut the dark glitter really quick. And it's like thick paper. It's very substantial. I hope it cuts well. I might have to put another shim in. In fact, you know what? I'm kind of anticipating I will need to do that, so I'm just going to do that right now. Because it's really thick. And I also need to swap my plates. before I forget. All right, let's hope this cut all the way through. Oh, it most definitely did. Oh, that's so pretty. Stop it. Oh my word. Okay, I kind of like the idea of the vellum. So let's cut the shadow out of vellum really quick and just see what that looks like. And oh, it got a little tear right there. That's annoying. Maybe it won't show very much. I don't think it will. I think the F will cover it mostly. Oh, that's pretty. Do we have a winner? I think we have a winner. Oh, and I forgot to turn that back on. Sorry. I was running all over my craft room. I didn't want to make you look at a blank wall, so. Okay, and then down. Wow, that actually lined up really well. That surprises me. I'm always having to like slice off a little bit of the front or something. Okay, and then we're going to do our fun little fast stack die cut technique. Okay, so then we stack that one, and then that one, and then you use your fingers to kind of squish them around and get them lined up just right. The whole idea is that you're working so quickly that the glue hasn't had a chance to dry yet, so that you can get everything lined up and stacked just right. Get that stacked on top. I think having like the white layers underneath will, you know, make it a little bit easier to read on top of the Plumberry ink blending. Okay. And then here's our card. Oh, that's kind of pretty too. I think I like it on top of the Plumberry though. Right there. And hopefully there's enough glue to catch onto the gold. Oh yeah, there is. I'm like wiggling it and it's good. All right, I'll put that paperweight on. So here is the finished card for tonight. I love that how that greeting kind of matches the ink blending a little bit. I think it turned out so great. And I sometimes I think that like a metallic cardstock and glitter paper might be over the top when you use them together. But in this case, I am just loving that. Having those stacked gives it a little bit more of a substantial look. It looks nice and kind of rich, right? Pretty cool. Just a reminder that you can sign up for the Celebrate class over at onlinecardclasses.com. And I'm going to be doing mail call live this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, just right in the middle of the afternoon. We're going to open all the mail. And the theme for, let's see, this would have been for April, was birthday cards. So lots of birthday cards. May is my birthday month. So it's all, I mean, celebrate all month long, right? That's why we're doing this Celebrate class. And we're also opening all those mail call cards that are birthday cards. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope to see you there on Wednesday. And thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in another video very soon.